And then, where does we say? Okay, I believe we're live, guys. So, um, welcome back. Thanks for being around. Sorry for the technical difficulty. What I wanted to do today, I posted on LinkedIn, and I guess you guys saw that, eh?
Hmm.
Oh, my bandwidth is terrible. Um, oh, Francis keeps bothering me. I don't know what's going on. So, what I want to talk about today is magnetics in general. So, you guys know what I mean when I say magnetics and using magnetics for exploration, right?
Hmm.
Have you guys ever processed magnetic data in any format in any circumstance?
I have processed once from a data from Brazil.
Oh, and whereabouts in Brazil? Brazil is very difficult with magnetic data because of its location within the Earth's magnetic equator. Yeah, are you guys
Yes,
aware of that?
yes.
What do we call that? Magnetic equator, Ecuador. So let's just see an image here. Magnetic Ecuador. Hey, there you go. That's not a good search at all, is it? Magnetic. Uh, oh, of course. I just did it in Spanish. Ecuador. Ha! There you go. There we go. So you guys know about these pictures, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so where the field is flat or parallel to the Earth's surface along the magnetic equator, that's very difficult for these especially the old school magnetometers to work, right? And so it's a very interesting topic to discuss um, low uh, magnetic Earth equator closeness magnetic data, and I believe zero in our neck of the woods goes through Lima, but you can check me on that. Okay, I think a lot of like Cuenca and north is about 15 degrees inclination, I think. But
In Ecuador,
say again.
is like 23
Down,
inclination.
what's so north, just like in the Cuenca area, I think it's 15, isn't it?
Well, I I saw that, I don't know, 2 months
Oh,
ago. It
this
was,
is easy to. Well, here we can do.
yes, 23. I saw.
Find declination, inclination. There's all kinds of software to do this, right? I don't. Maybe we don't have to do it today, but I guess you guys know all what these words mean and all that stuff. But we can.
Mhm.
There's probably find your calculator right here, maybe declination. So I actually don't want declination. I want inclination, right? Uh, oh my gosh. Anyway, you guys know how to do that, right?
Mhm.
And we can talk about that later. But what I want to talk about is a couple slides. But then, most importantly, I'd like to go into this magnetic software. Close. I'd like to go into this magnetic software, and you can about potent. You guys can go and download everything I'm going to do today, okay, for free. All right. I only act. This is it's not an expensive uh, software considering things, but I when I use this professionally, I pay it by the month. But when I don't have it active, you can use it for up to 2 bodies. So it's interesting to do. And the way that what we'll do with this today is we'll import. Oh, maybe we won't do that now. Maybe we'll figure it out later. I've lost you. Don't understand. I've lost you. So, and sorry, now I was talking with Jose before, so I've forgotten exactly where I was. What we want to do is we want to talk about the difference between magnetic data from the ground, collected on the ground, magnetic data from a drone, magnetic data from an aircraft, for example, because the distance you are from the ground affects the values that you're going to measure, right? And what we're going to do is we have magnetic data in this area, and there is a mine on this map. And then we're going to look to see if we can find that mine. How's that sound?
Good.
I need to find you again. So let me kill this. Let me kill this. I'm going to get rid of this. Down to university course. PDAC. Sorry about this. I'm sure my blank screen is very interesting. Okay. What I want to what I want to talk to you about first, you guys know about drone magnetics and how we can deal with things in different platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow, that's very small. So this is just an example. This is actually really an Andean example. Unfortunately, it's from British Columbia, Canada. Okay. And so as we can see, this color of line here, maybe the gray, is topography. So you can see, and here these are 50-meter shots, right? So this is rugged, okay? And so at one time, a person with a ground magnetometer walked here and collected this red line of data. And then we got smart and we decided, well, we're going to now not have to walk that terrible topography. We're going to fly it with a drone mag. And they flew the survey, and the green line is what they got. So the discussion I'd like to have with you guys. Oh, I thought I lost Francis there for a second. Sorry. Let me get this on a different screen so I know who's there. Sorry. So what the discussion I'd like to have with you guys is that from a geologic standpoint, you have to trust me that all of this data I'm showing you is real and realistic. This isn't a true example, okay? But so if a geophysicist gave you this line of gravity data, or if he gave you this line of gravity data, how does that impact what we can look for on a geologic basis? Do you understand my question?
Yes.
Who do I see here? We can't see Jose. He's embarrassed today.
Sorry, I am with another computer that is not working the camera.
Or still in your pajamas. We understand.
No, I don't.
So how does that look to you? Is this now I don't know what your background is, but I can tell you the craziest story I have been told personally about magnetics. The new magnetic machines, they can sample 10,000 times a second. It's just I don't even understand what's going on here, right? So we used to go from a detailed survey at one reading every 25 meters, and now we can take 10 measurements in a meter on if we want to be crazy. So, and the ridiculous thing I heard about that was that this person believed, this is an engineer who was a specialist in collecting magnetic data with drones. That engineer thought that if you crossed a pencil of mag, for example, I wish I had done this differently. he thought that if you had a buried magnetic target and it was very small and very thin, that it could be found with one measurement of the magnetic curve. Do you understand what I'm trying to say that he understood? Sorry, I can't see you guys if you're looking at me.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to. So
Yes.
that shocked me. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going through and to show you how to use this software. If we need to do this in detail, let me know. But this is everything I'm doing, as I said, with this software, guys can do for free, okay? And you're welcome to these data that I'm importing. All right. So what do we have now? We have magnetic data in the program. We're going to look at We're going to look at
David, we are not watching your screen.
what?
We're
No,
just watching you.
I'm watching our faces.
Mm.
There you are. You can. So what screen
No.
am I sharing? What screen am I sharing? Share. Stop share. Share. Screen. Screen. Boom. Is that better? So you can see
Yes.
my mouse?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I messed that up a long time ago. So I can do that again, but all I've done is I've gone in and I've found a data set that I knew existed and I've brought it into this modeling software. Some of the terms in modeling might be a little weird, but observed field data is the data that you collected in the field. The calculated field is if we do put some modeled bodies in here, what the response would be, from if the Earth was that model target. The residual field is the difference between the observed field and the model that we are looking for. Height of sensor, ground clearance, topography, of course, is important, and we have that. But just for our purposes, that is the magnetic data in this area. Okay. What we can do now with the software is we can pick a line and look at it. Okay. What we can do with this software is we can start to play with it, and I'll do that, and I will get back to the point of how anomalies behave, and they cannot be one point. But one thing you must know about this software is you have to go in and you have to tell the computer program where the data was collected, okay, and what year. It doesn't have to be that accurate, but it has to be at least this specific. So this is the detail. This is the world map. So technically I could just do this, but just for clarity, let's do this and let's pretend it's there. And then I know that these data were collected on the 2019, and the height is 80 meters. Okay, so what has that done? What that has done is Earth. What that has done is told the computer where in the world they are in this field, for example. Okay? Very important. What we can do now is we'll go to this line, and I can tell you, and this is the tease for the day. There is a mine within these data. Okay? And I can show you the location in a bit. So along this profile is a mine. Well, let's get back to learning how the software works. Let's add a target. If we can do a whole bunch of things. There's icons. We can move this target. Whoops, maybe we can't. We can move this target. We can do a whole bunch of things. But the first thing you need to do is you need to tell the computer, okay, there you go, the program, that you have to activate the target, because sometimes you'll have bodies you want to turn on and off to see, but we're going to apply this. So that'll turn that red. And what you'll see is that this red line suddenly changed. Okay, and that's because this target's active now. When it's inactive or not part of the mathematics, that's pretty obvious, I guess. Apply. So what can we do? We can do a whole bunch of detailed things, but what you need to know for your initial investigation of the software, and I highly recommend you do it, is just set all to invert and apply again. Okay, now we'll close this. Hopefully that doesn't kill it.
I cannot hear you, Dave.
There we go. Sorry. Thank you. So what do we have now? We have real data, and remember, this is looking from plan. We have real data, and we have a target. And that looks like I've facetiously put it somewhere, but I didn't really do that. But we can move these things anywhere. Okay. Now, what is the objective here? The objective is to get the blue line to look like the red line, and that's what modeling is. So, and that's why it's important to remember to make sure we are in the world. Okay. Because if we change, if I pretend that these data were collected where I live, where I am right now, about here, and let's go, see how much the red line changed? Did you guys see that?
Yes.
So this is very important. So if I have this topography and this magnetic body near Timmins, Ontario, this is the red line I would expect in my raw data. Okay. If I am in where these data are from, which is down around here, and I'll get this out of the way so we can see it work. If down around here, boom, see that? So that is pretty important that we recognize that it really is important to get everything right with this software. But what can I do now? Let's see if we can even find out, like everything just looks wrong. So you know what? Let's just run this inversion. This is a forward model, pardon me. No, inversion, pardon me, because I have the data. Oops. Now, I really recommend. Oh, that was a. So here we go. I was going to say something else, but that's not a bad fit for a first estimate, is it? What do you guys think? Right? Like it's not the good thing, but when you're using software like this, what you really want to be able to do is look for the family of curve, you know? I'm not trying to fit this part here. I'm not trying to fit this part here. I'm trying to see if I can fit the general sort of idea. That's how I do it. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave it like that, and I'm going to add another body. Right. And I think that I'm missing something here. So I'm going to just do that. And that's how much should we bill people for this? Millions of dollars. Where am I going? And next. So now I turn the second body on, active, apply, and I set to invert, and I apply, and I close this. And I say, well, that didn't do very much, did it? I can't really tell. Well, it's going to do something. So what do? And I'm going to watch your faces while this works. We're going to invert again. Whoops. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Boom. Normally I have this software set so it shows each iteration, but apparently I don't have that on today. Hey, look at that. That's not bad for rookies, right? What do you guys think of that? Let me worry your faces here. I keep losing you.
Yes.
Jose's too scared to show his face today. So that's, you know what? That is something that we know it's not right. And you guys remember the diagram I showed you with the 4 answers with the same data, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we know is, and we can prove it with this software, that this answer could be absolutely totally wrong. But we're going to be positive today, and we're going to say, heck, let's go for it. So I don't know, this isn't what I really planned, but what I can do now is I go to this map here, and I could go to model, maybe. I can go to export as a DXF. I can change all this stuff. I can go here, and I'm going to put this here. I thought I had one of these going. DC data, course material. So I did one of these this morning, so we can check this out, what I did. And this is going to call this B, if that's okay with you guys. Okay, so let's get rid of this now. And let's get rid of this. And let's get into this. So hopefully you can see my Geosoft screen now. Whoop. Can you guys see my Geosoft?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what can we do now? We know that we have a mine here somewhere. And I'm not going to show you everything because it's complicated, but I'll just skip to the chase. And the mine footprint is right there. Do you see that? No, if in
Yes.
in Geosoft, you can just change attributes easy like this. Let's just change this to 1 to make it really nice and fat. Okay. So that's public domain information. That is the footprint of Fruta del Norte mine. Okay. And the background is the topography.
Mhm.
So where these data are from, and we'll do it this way. So I go map, I go import, I go DXF, I go to wherever the heck I put that stuff. And I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to open, and I'm going to leave it all. My coordinate system is fine and dandy. Boom. What happened? What did we do? Well, that's interesting. So I can give you a chance to look at that. There's not a heck of a lot to look at, but I can give you examples of what people will say about this if you'd like. Do you guys have any comments about what we just did? So what we have now is we have this program giving us an idea of what this curve might be, and we took that result and we put it in this map. And if we need to, we can go in 3D. This is in 3D, right? Obviously, this is a plan map.
Why the second body, the southern body, could be in that form, in that shape, and the mine is perpendicular. So I think the body could be in other direction or in other shape.
Well, listen, I can tell you that these results are very interesting because you saw the effort we put in, right? And like basically, maybe I influenced by picking the original bodies. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. What the current interpretation of this is, and I sort of agree with it, I believe, and as I've said in these recordings, the magnetic signature of most of the Ecuadorian mineral deposits is not directly detected or understood by the magnetic signature. You guys have heard me say that, right?
Okay.
So the interesting discussion that I've heard people talk about this is that your southern body here is probably associated with something that is causing this crosscut, this break in these two outlines.
Okay.
And that's an interpretive discussion. The problem with that discussion is, depending on what information you are given, I'm sorry, I'm looking for some. In this slide here, and all of this again is public information. In this slide here, it tells us that the break does not exist. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? But anyway, that is something I wanted to show you guys, because what you just witnessed is a process that I would go through, potentially looking at a problem given to me through geophysical data. Any questions or comments about that?
Sorry, only for summarize what I looked. The shape and the size of the bodies that you model in an inversion or forward modeling.
Yeah, this is I misspoke. I misspoke there. Sorry. Yeah.
That's not the real body that you will discover.
Wow, I think you might have to ask me that question again, because I think my answer will be confusing. So are you I think what you're asking me is that there's really no chance that these bodies actually look like that. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, or if that's the case, is the same shape of the ore body that I am looking for?
Yeah. Oh, pardon me. I missed that question then. So okay, well let me just go back, because I don't understand yet. I'm saying that the magnetic signature of the ore body that we're discussing here,
Mm-hmm.
and I will also say in Ecuador that this ore body here is effectively the same as the belt to the west, only of a different age. Am I
Mm-hmm.
allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's another thing. I looked at Cangrejos pretty extensively, so we can do that sometime if you'd like, because I love Ecuador geology, because if you can't figure something out on one belt, you just go to the other one, and then it's going to do this, or it was this. You know what I mean? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. What do I know? So anyway, but what I do think is that the magnetic signature of the ore bodies doesn't follow the magnetic information that we get. And
Okay.
I have done this maybe 8 times in Ecuador, on Ecuador data, on Ecuador mines, and you always get information, but it never says drill here. Does that make sense?
Yes, but
Yeah.
that was why I was asking that, because in that case you see the frutal north veins are almost north to south trending,
Hmm.
but the magnetic shape of that body is almost east to west, west to
Well,
east.
let's do something here real quick. As I said this morning, I did another one. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just see. Pardon me. So that we're going to call this afternoon, but let's turn on what I did this morning. See, that's interesting. These are going to be the same color, but it should be easy to tell the difference.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we need here. Well, that's interesting. Now, I can tell you geophysically from geophysical experience. I can tell you from geophysical experience that result is educational. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Where am I here? Here we go. Sorry. That teaches me something. And it also teaches me that maybe it's just my bias on the original um, model I picked, and maybe that's a problem. Should we investigate that? Do we have time to do that? Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yes.
I've lost you. Where did we go?
David,
Yes, ma'am.
do you get the data from this place and then you figure out which was the body that adjusts to that signal?
Y- yes, this the data. Do I have?
So do you get the data and then you figure out which one was the body that adjusts with that data, that right?
Yes. Yeah. I need to know where the data is from. I need to know the location of the data, right?
And then with the software, you were looking for which one was the body that adjusts with that signal, with that data.
Yeah. Yes. Pardon me. Yes. And what we can, and so I don't, can I give you, I'll give you examples of what data I get from, for the project. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, sure.
Um, so I guess this is recorded. So this, here I get all the information from the geotech team, okay, in location, et cetera, and this might be the inversion file, but I get, oh yeah, there's the 2D inversion, there is the radiometric data, there is the raw data, probably with oh, this is the raw, Jean doesn't like to say when I say MT data, but it's MT data, really. MT data, and that's probably the 3D information. There's information from the client, from surface, et cetera, okay? And what this stuff looks like in Geosoft, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is the format of Geosoft file, okay? And this one happens to be geochemistry. And then what we do is we take all the information and, oh, I get this right. Oops. What we do is we take all that information and we put the drill hole information, and this is all public domain stuff now, but all of the geochemistry is here, et cetera, we put it all again. Now, I guess I should take this off though. Now what we can do is we can get into the right space here and we can go map, import, DXF, B, right? Let's do mine. Whose was the smaller bodies? The first one or the second interpretation? Do you remember? The second one, the first one, right? Was the smaller bodies. Let's look at
Yeah.
that first. Boom. So there you go. I need to see your faces for that one. That's pretty cool. I've lost you. Maximize somewhere. Oh, there you are. Yay. So
So do you receive the data that you have in the section, and then you figure out that the better answer that you can get with that body, that red body that you found, was the better answer that you can get with that
yeah,
section.
I think if I understand the question, what my job in this circle was, the client had historic information, geochemistry, drilling things. They had hired a contractor to do the natural field airborne geophysics in electromagnetics, and so I got the information from the client that they had for everything in the rawest format available. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the raw magnetic data and I got the raw EM data and I got some old raw IP data and I got blah, 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 blah. And then it was my job to tell them where I think they should drill. And so it was my job to make sure that the airborne company did a good job and the data was okay. And what they said was right. And it was my job to make sure that everything, all the contractors that client has used, this client is Tempest, you can look them up, all the things that they had been given historically were okay. And then I took everything and I made a map that showed them this.
But David, if I can see in the section that is here, that section is from you or from them?
Which part of the section?
Because what you figured out was the red body, right?
This morning?
Yes.
Yeah, this morning, this is what you, I, and Jose did.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that's what we just did that.
But
No, I lied to you. That's the one I did this morning. If you want to see the ones that you and I did, I know this is a little off topic, but we're going to do it anyway. The ones that we just did were B, right? And there's the comparison.
okay.
Okay, sorry about that. But the color in the background here, let me turn this off. So the color I'm turning off now, that is the Geotech 2D inversion of their ZTEM data. And there's the color scale. That might be what you're asking me. So I did not invert these data to make this map. Maybe that's the question. Is that your question?
Yes, I wanted to know if what you get was this section from your because you process the data and then you get that section.
Yes. I think so. In my version of Geosoft, I can go plot, I can go section, and I can do anything I want in any angle and make any plan view, side view, anything. Maybe that's what you're asking me? So maybe I don't understand the question yet. Sorry. Where did we go? There we go. So Francis, I don't think I understand your question yet. I'm sorry.
No. I maybe I didn't get that the two bodies that you showed before was only a proof.
Approved? Is that the word you're using?
I mean the red bodies that we've seen before,
Yeah.
before
Right. Yes.
was the real result that you get.
Oh, good question. Now I understand. I'm slow, but I'm not stupid, Francis. Ready?
Don't tell him that.
No. Okay, but no, this is perfect. Francis, you come up with the best questions. And Jose, I think you should pick up your game a bit for questions, okay? We're challenging you. I didn't hear what he said. Maybe he hung up on us. So, perfect. Francis, your question is perfect because yes, yes, I did. I went through these data and I made all the bodies and stuff. But what Geotech has done with their system, and I think I really like it because of what we're going to find out right now, but they collected these mag data, right?
Mhm.
This is the airborne magnetic data for this area from this same survey as the electromagnetic survey, okay? Now, what they do is they take that and they do a 2D inversion of it. Maybe it's actually a 3D. Well, it is 3D. And this is what they think the magnetics looks like. So let's turn off our stuff. So I think, Francis, we're about to answer your question. So I apologize for rambling. What in the heck have I done here? Here we go. So what we have here is the data that they sent me, I used to make the individual bodies. But what Geotech also does with their information is they put it through a 3D modeling program, and that modeling program gave the result with the colors here. So the browns here are high magnetic bodies, and the greens are lower magnetic. And this is what Geotech says the magnetic section looks like using the data that we used to make these targets. So what I think is excellent for us to do now is, and remember, we did not put very much work in that interpretation, but we did. It may have been 5 minutes, right? So we didn't check a lot of different things, and we should go back and check my bias on the starting model. But here we have geotext answer in 3D. Oh, thank you, baby. My daughter just terrified me with a coffee. Now, and remember, the targets that we made this morning are all magnetic higher targets, right? Okay, so how does this look? Boom. I would love to hear you guys comment on that. Because what we're doing now is geophysics, right? We're looking at geophysical data different ways to try to get an answer.
So that one is those ones are the real bodies that
Oh, real. Never say
not
real,
real. No,
Francis.
no. I
Yeah.
mean
I love you. I love you
when
for
I
being so
when I say
optimistic.
no, when I say real is about the data that
Oh
you
yeah,
work
no, that's
with.
it. Yeah, everything here is from the and not only is it real, it's from the same data source.
Okay.
Okay, it's from the same file. It's
Yes,
looking
because
at
I
the same
didn't
file,
get
different ways.
how you get the other with the other circle, and it was not clear for me.
Okay, but you're clear now.
Yes, now make more sense. Yes.
Okay, so what do you think of this result? Do you have any comments? And remember that this color of red here is high, and this color of red here is high, right? In this color scheme. I'm asking you a geophysical question. You don't have to answer it now, but this is a geophysical question. Has what we done this morning given us more confidence or less confidence in what we think about these data? And that's our job as exploration people involved in Ecuador. We need to be able to look at these things and put them together so you can help find a mine.
Okay.
Jose, what do you think? Any ideas?
No, I only that I am still a little bit confused about the shape of the bodies. For example, the left body is like a horizontal shape, but the magnetics has another shape. So that's if I go to the forward modeling or inversion,
Yes, sir.
should I fix the anomaly with the body?
Well, you're talking exactly what you need to do. What we need to do is make a plan. We have to understand the tools that we have available to us, and then we have to make a plan, because as I can go back and show you, I can show you that I can take the same data in the same place and give you 4 different answers that are all good. So we need to make a plan to find out all of the tools we can use and how best to apply them. For me, I think what we do in this area is we are like Sherlock Holmes trying to solve a mystery. Okay. So what I would tell you when I look at this, and believe me, I am more skeptic. I'm not trying to sell you geophysics here. I'm trying to use geophysical tools to figure out how to help people. I don't believe any of this stuff. But what does this map tell me? It tells me, and the same reason, Jose, you're concerned about this shape versus this shape. That's what you said, right? Really?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I actually take that as a positive. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
but
I see two. Yeah, go ahead, Francis.
then you have to take in account the geology.
You have to take, well, probably this map, the color map here, takes in the geology as much as anything, certainly more than these red bodies. So your point's a good one, but it doesn't really apply here, if that makes any sense. So what we do know here is that we do know that basically this geology is mostly horizontal with breaks and level shifts, right? So I love the fact that this crazy body that we made in about 45 seconds actually matches the data for the top of these targets. You see that? So I
Mhm.
take that as a positive.
Okay.
I also take as a positive that this crazy target here matches perfectly with one of the loci of this huge crazy target that we know that is just too big to exist anyway. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So there, that would be, and I hate to use my company's name, but that would be my insight to you guys as junior explorationists, how I think you're welcome to look at data. Does that make any sense?
Mhm.
But always know that you can be completely wrong. So that was cool. Um, what I should not do, because we made a good point there, is I should ignore what we had. But let's try our other answer. How does it turn out? Oops, not that one. Not that one. This one. No, that's not. Is that what we? Is that what we had this morning? Is that 27? Yeah, 20. So that is what we had this morning. Oh, this is back and front. Sorry. So front, center. I'm so stupid with my glasses. Um, what is this stuff here? Let me turn this all off so I can see. So is that what we made this morning? I thought what we made this. No, we are B. Pardon me. So this is what I made this morning, the 27th, right? And then this is what we made together. Sorry. No, I do get. I'm so dyslexic. It's embarrassing, but that's what's happening there. So those are the comparison of the two runs. So here's a question to you guys. What would you do next? What would you change in the modeling software to what question do you want to oh, I've got the wrong one here probably. Center. Oh, so that I had that wrong before. See how that I had that? So that is uh this distance is measure distance is this distance is 250 meters. So this red blob here, see how it says front? It's sitting here actually. Here's the center, and here's the back somewhere. Here it is. It doesn't cross the back. So really all that discussion we had, thank goodness we know we can be wrong because we were wrong because we were looking at the wrong thing. So this one is still the same, but this has moved substantially, and now goodness only knows what's happening there. So that's not as good as a fit as I thought, but I'm going to still take that as a positive, okay? And then let's make sure we get the right one this time. And this is the one I did this morning. This is the one we did right now. There we go. So there you go. Any comments? Where would you go next? What would you try? What would your of course, you guys being geologists, you could never run the software. It's just so complicated. So what would you ask your geophysicists to do? What questions have we spoken in your mind to look at this? Where would you drill, etc.? You know, what's going on? Is that the type of geology you're interested in? Is that what you guys want to do for a living? That's a serious question. The people, that's what I do for a living. But people say, take all this stuff and tell me where you would drill. And I say, okay, and I do it. I find it fascinating.
Of course, I want to do that.
Yeah, I think, there's many things. Listen, geology is such a crazy, large group of people. Um, if like spotting a drill hole on geophysical data coupled with geologic data is a different skill set than a mining engineer, you know, like really. I love in my discussions with mining engineers over my career, you know, they'll say, okay, well, what did you get? And I'll say, well, I think we have a target here. It's 600 meters down. And they say, okay, well, how are we going to drill it? And I'm going to say this and that. And he goes, well, where should I expect it? And I say, well, you can expect it anywhere from, 500 meters down the hole to 700 meters down the hole. And that will make that person faint. That makes a mining engineer heart attack. He goes, you can't give me a number closer than 200 meters. And then they laugh at you. So are you guys engineers? Sorry, I'm insulting you. Because I'm not. It's just a different skill set. You never want me to calculate your mine reserve. Trust me. Using geophysics or not, you do not want me to do that. So what do you think, guys? How are we making any progress? Did we cover some stuff today? Did we put, or where were we? Geosoft. Where are we now? So now this just sort of covers what we were doing. If I had more time and the energy, I would test this more. But I can tell you that I have been through this process a few months ago, with the same data, obviously, but testing my ideas here. So I'm very happy that this happened again. Because this pastel color in the background is new technology to me. So, and I haven't investigated fully. I understand what they're doing, but geophysics is geophysics. So I'm happy to see when something that I know might make a bit of sense matches something that I'm just learning about. So for me, these things are positives, if that makes any sense. Now, do we figure out where the mine was?
Yes.
Not yet. So there you go. So first of all, how are we doing here for time? Do you guys have any questions?
No.
So that's 52 minutes already. That's probably a good spot to leave it. But was that any help, guys, do you think?
Yes.
Hopefully I won't lose this video. Francis, I apologize. I lost yesterday's video. I had started the video on one private setting, and then when I changed it, YouTube decided that I was maybe hacking my own account or something. Who knows?
No problem.
But
I was there, so.
Anyway, listen. So you guys take care. Hopefully I'll post this up on the and I'll send you the links. I know there's a lot of stuff to go through. If you guys have any ideas, but I'll make myself available anytime you guys want to talk. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Take care, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
Do my best to keep it.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.